Hi, this is Sam Holloway for Crafting a Strategy, and today I'm going to talk about how craft breweries are a unique civic investment that actually transfer wealth faster to society than they do to the entrepreneurs. If you don't believe me, I'm going to use a case study of two very similar cities, Portland, Oregon and San Jose, California. Both of these cities have about 1 million people in their greater metropolitan area. Both of these cities have craft breweries, but Portland has made it much easier in terms of permitting and access to resources for breweries to be located closer to downtown than San Jose has. And here's a brief example. This is from ratebeer.com, a look at the number of breweries that are in the downtown core of Portland, Oregon. Now, if we look at San Jose, California at the same time, which was about 3 years ago, if you look hard enough, you can see that they have 3 craft breweries at the time these data were pulled. Go back to Portland, much more brewery friendly. Go back to San Jose, still needing a little bit of work or maybe a little bit of convincing. And that's what I'm going to do in this talk today. So let's start with some of the basics. One of the things that any city is trying to correct is income inequality. And that is, sometimes it's very difficult for people to live downtown and spend their money downtown because the cost of living there is really high. In other cases, the downtown maybe isn't as safe of a place, maybe it's not as an attractive of a place, and if somehow you could get businesses to reinvest in downtown, people would move there and their dollars would follow. So if you look here, downtown Portland actually has a pretty good distribution of income close to their downtown core. Now let's look at the income inequality in San Jose for 2015. It's quite a different picture, particularly in the core downtown. So what this says is most of the wealth in San Jose is not residing in downtown, where in Portland there's a much greater share of wealthy citizens living in and around downtown, starting businesses, spending their money. Here's another quick look at San Jose. So our hypothesis here, and we'll have the data to back it up, is that cities and counties that are more friendly to craft breweries in terms of their permitting practices and in terms of their cultivating relationships with entrepreneurs that might want to start a craft brewery, they're going to see their downtowns enjoy greater economic benefit sooner than if they don't embrace craft breweries. Dr. Meckler and I actually talked about this in an article on the Portland written by Peter Korn in the Portland Tribune back in 2016. And it's a wider trend than just breweries, but breweries are a key engine of societal wealth. Let me talk a little bit more about that. Here's the key thing to think about if you're a civic leader or if you're an entrepreneur trying to convince a city or municipality that you should build a brewery downtown. The Bureau of Economic Analysis has this database, the RIMS2 database, that talks about Type 1 and Type 2 jobs. Type 1 jobs are jobs that are associated with kind of the suburban living lifestyle where people live in one geography of town, they drive downtown for work, they earn their wages, but then at night they drive home and spend those wages in a different geography. Those are good, but Type 2 jobs are better because these are the types of jobs where the wages are earned and spent in the same geographic location. Type 2 jobs are the types of jobs that get civic leaders really excited. They're the types of jobs that get mayors reelected. And breweries are a very unique business that creates a high proportion of Type 2 jobs where wages are earned and spent in the same place. For example, in the 2014 RIMS2 database, for every direct brewery labor job created in the state of California, 3.5 other Type 2 jobs were created. Now you can imagine this is probably a server at that brewery. This could be a distributor that's taking that beer and driving it to grocery stores. But the key is these are Type 2 jobs. So those wages, even of the indirect labor, the 3.4 times, are still staying in the community. That's how they return value to society faster than they do the entrepreneur because of the extra jobs created outside the brewery, the taxes that get paid from those wages, etc., etc. So let's look at the data. This shows beer spending in the downtown core of Portland, Oregon in 2015. Portland's a pretty active brewery scene. It's a very active space. There's a lot of different beer spending outside the home in the downtown core of Portland. Let's look at San Jose. If we look at San Jose, it's not bad. There are some areas where beer spending is occurring in 2015. There are others where it could be doing a little bit better. But remember, this is beer spending at bars, restaurants, anything as long as it's outside the home. And so San Jose clearly shows that they have citizens that are wanting to hang out and interact downtown. But if you recall, the income inequality and the type of people that are living in these places is starkly different. So this says to me that there is an opportunity for breweries to go into downtown San Jose and really make a difference. And it just so happens that there is a group of breweries led by Camino Brewing, which was a brewery in planning back at the time I pulled these data. They're now fully operational. There's a group of breweries that are interested in revitalizing downtown San Jose, and they formed the Downtown San Jose Craft Beer Alliance in 2014. The idea was we need to convince civic leaders on the power of craft breweries to turn around downtown San Jose. And so I actually went to a meeting where the mayor of San Jose was present, as were a bunch of industry stakeholders and about 250 citizens back in October of 2014. And we talked about the power of this business model to turn around neighborhoods. Let's look at the data, okay? And what I want you to do in these two slides is look how the darker colors of red are funneling into the center of your screen. They're funneling into downtown. In 2014, there were 3 breweries, but there were also several more permits in planning. And so if we use SimplyMap's projection tool to look at where the spending is going based on future presence of breweries, I think this is pretty interesting. So I want you to watch how the lighter colors of red turn to darker colors as projected out 10 years. You can actually see here, if I toggle back and forth, the money is flowing into downtown in greater intensity. Certainly these are just projections, but I believe it does make a pretty compelling argument for downtown areas to embrace the power of Type 2 jobs getting created by craft breweries. To summarize, since the initial meeting we had in 2014, there have been several more craft breweries in downtown San Jose. The number now is larger than 5. So while that might seem insignificant, only growing from 3 to 5, it is starting this trend that is going to see dollars, wages, taxes, and Type 2 jobs flow into an area that was absent of those previously. The other thing to remember is, while these are for-profit businesses, they are benefit corporations of sorts, and that is that society benefits more quickly and at larger scale than the entrepreneur. Research shows that most craft breweries are not profitable for their first 12 years if they are set up as production breweries and sell through a distributor. However, in those first few years when the brewery is scaling up and paying off some of their debts, the neighborhood wealth increases immediately because of the creation of these Type 2 jobs. This has been Sam Holloway for Crafting a Strategy, talking about the economic, civic, and societal benefits of the craft brewery business model.